Given the success with the opening night for the NFL game, I felt the urge to work on the college football algorithm. And I added some things of importance, and it really helps us to diagnose the week and to figure out which picks to take. So, for those who are interested in the college football algorithm, there's a $100 subscription for the month of September. You can get emails from me every week as I update this file and make it better. Speaking of making it better, I added strength of schedule numbers in our view of the games and a strength of schedule differential, meaning how much better or worse were the teams that the team of reference played compared to the teams that the opponent played. What that means when we go through this game here, Memphis versus Arkansas State, this says that Memphis's opponents so far this season have been really bad. They have a ranking of -15. A low SoS rating means that they've played teams that are not very good. A strength of schedule of a positive number for the opponent means the opponent has played a really good team apparently to start off the season, if it's a positive number. So this is saying Memphis played a bad opponent week one. Arkansas played a very good opponent in week one. And so the difference in the quality of teams that the team of reference has played compared to the opponent is -39. That's bad. That means that our stats and our projections are going to be super skewed toward this team because they apparently played a bunch of, preteen kids in week one. And that's why they crushed it. And Arkansas State played apparently a really good opponent. That's what this means here. So it's important when we look down the list about which teams to take that we have a strength of schedule differential that's good. Like the first time we see a good one is here. It's Auburn in California, meaning Auburn played somebody who was good in week one and Auburn won. California played somebody who was bad in week one, and apparently they probably lost or didn't play well. So Auburn, not only should they win this game, they should destroy this game. So the -250, Auburn is the money line pick of the day, even though it's -250. This team is supposed to win. The first time something like that shows up. Oregon also supposed to win. Notice the strength of schedule differential drops to -22 because Texas Tech played an okay team and Oregon played a not good team, but Oregon really annihilated it. So they're still favored here, but it's not as obvious as this right here. Also, Jacksonville State at a +420. Their strength of schedule is a -20. That's not good, but the differential here is not as bad as some of these other ones. And they're still way up here. So Jacksonville State +13.5, pretty solid pick according to the algorithm. So we got Jacksonville State plus the points. We've got Auburn to win. What else? How about this? Massachusetts and Miami of Ohio. Massachusetts played a better team in week one, and they're still favored by the algorithm by points. And they got a money line. It's +230. Their margin's 30%. Massachusetts is the underdog pick of the day. They have a 30% margin, a better strength of schedule, and they are +230. Unbelievable. That is the underdog of the day for Saturday. Anything else looking good? Down here, but that's a terrible line. Okay, Southern Miss against Florida State. What is going on here? So Southern Miss played somebody who was bad, and they probably won in week one. Florida State also played somebody who was bad and probably lost. I actually want to know now. I want to know who Florida State played. We can go back and look. Let's do it like this. We're going to look for Florida State games. Just want to see what happened. Florida State was probably favored and they probably lost. That's what happened. Florida State was not even favored. Interesting. We'd have to open up the entire look to get that. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to go and we're going to check in the schedule real quick. And we're going to try to find Florida State just because I want to know. I want to make sure the numbers are working right. In week two, which was their first game, they played at a neutral site game against Louisiana State, and they won. They won. So they won 45-24. So what did Mississippi State do that was so awesome? ISSI, a lot of S's and I's. Mississippi State. They won 48-7 over Southern Louisiana. Okay, now this is starting to make sense. So Florida State won a game in week 3. And the only reason that it is putting Mississippi State up here beating them, the only reason it's doing that at this crazy underdog line is because they absolutely dominated a bad team, and I guess it was Southeastern Louisiana. So that game's right here. And Southern, oh, it's not Mississippi State, it's Southern Mississippi. Hold on a second. The wrong team. Who'd Southern Mississippi play? They beat Alcorn State 40-14. Similar situation in that they held their opponent to a lot less. So both these teams won, though. So it's calling it a close game, and perhaps it will be closer than this 31 points. Like Southern Mississippi plus the 31 is probably a good idea, given what these numbers say. Meaning, for some reason, all the money's going in on Florida State, and the algorithm disagrees with that, both in margin and in projected points. That's pretty amazing. Would be an upset like nobody's business if it happened, but they're probably going to cover. So covering with them is decent. No line on UNLV and Michigan, probably favoring Michigan too. Wow, this is all screwed up, right? This is all screwed up. This thinks UNLV beats Michigan. This is not going to work. You know, you can see there's already going to be issues. So we do have more information with the strength of schedule that's going to be helpful to look at as this evolves throughout the season. It's definitely needed to help pick things. But what it does really confirm is that, yes, Auburn, Jacksonville State plus the points, Massachusetts plus the points, Massachusetts to win at plus 230. Then things start to get closer down here. So these are tougher games to pick anyway. You want your games to be above 20% margin for winners. There's all these games here, but I don't feel confident telling you to play all of these teams because these strength of schedules are so out of whack. Oregon probably wins. I think Oregon you can put on this list as well, because it's not a great number, but they really did crush it in week 1. All right, so that's the college football update. I'm sending it out. Subscribe to get copies of this. It's going to get even more and more helpful as the season goes along. May all your picks be